Hello Pisces, are you ready for what the whispering tree and the owl has to say about your calling, the many paths that are being offered in your journey? Well, if you're curious and want to see the follow-up from Sunday's reading, then come on in. Let's check it out. Hello beautiful Pisces, and welcome back to your reading. Today we're going to be doing runes again because we have reset, and we're going to do your monthly rune reading with the reading from Sunday in mind. And the way I'm going to do it, these are runes that I had created from rocks on my property. I have another set that I used last week, but I felt like using this one this week. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be holding their energy in my hands. I'm going to be dropping them on the cloth, and then I'm going to read what's within the circle of this beautiful whispering tree, and anything that goes outside of the circle will not be read. Anything that stays inside will be. And there'll be patterns or groupings and stuff like that. And I'm also going to pull from the Mystical Shaman's Oracle. So let's get to it. Let's see. This week I'm going to imbue with the intention. We were talking about spiritual reclamation. And it's about it's a spiritual moment in the life of Pisces. Okay? When you start sacred preparations, a lot of times we don't really think about it, right? We're piercing through illusions, but we're also walking through a lot of smoke, a lot of things that we don't know, but somehow we just feel the purpose of trying to move forward, of just going, right? This is about reclaiming yourself. The emotional layers, the inner battles, the illusions, the light. They're all there. But what rises after this is whole. It's wise. Okay? You're really not lost. You are becoming. And these messages want to give you wisdom so that you can walk in that becoming and maybe feel like not so alone and guided. So here we go. I call in Liam, I call in Mona, Davide, my arc guide, also as my celestial partner, light. I call you all. Okay. Well, there's a lot. There's a lot. Okay. Let's see here. The ones near the edge I'm going to take out. Okay. So I've sat for a while, and I'm kind of looking. I'm going to start with one part of the tree. This one here on the lower branch that's going in. I'm going to go in a little bit so you can see. Over here, there's part of the tree you're not seeing below here, and I'm going to adjust that as we go. We're going to start branch by branch and kind of develop what's going on. I feel that this lower branch is telling of the story of the journey so far for you. This one is the rune of wood, and it is pointing in this direction, right here, where the trunk is. And it makes me feel it's the energy, the positivity, the knowledge. When you've built a trunk that's big enough as it is over here, you start feeling like you can branch out. And I feel that's what's coming in here, or that's what you felt. You knew enough to branch out, so you did. Funny enough, the rune that came in here is the blank rune. You usually have one. And that to me is the unknown of the whole thing. And that's really what we're talking about this week, right? It's the most important part. It's the unknowns in the things that we're doing, how we're trying to make something of ourselves, but don't always know what the road's going to bring. After that, you have the rune of harvest. And it's the reward, the peace, it's commitment to what you're trying to achieve and what you're doing. And it fell right on a branch. The one that is actually branching out, if you see. It actually branched out. So you may have seen some things happen. I would compare it to like the 4 or the 6 of Wands, where things have started to happen for you to give you an indication that you're going in the right direction. You're growing, strong and where you need to go. But then you have the rune of strength, and this one is in reverse. And what it's telling me, the ox actually, it's that in this, at some point, you may be feeling like you're missing opportunities. And I think that the rune after it probably helps with that. It's the slowness, or maybe even the fact of not knowing exactly what's coming, that's making you feel like, am I missing something by not moving this quickly? The rune that comes after it is one of the horse, and it's progress. It's about the journey. It's about changes. It's about the relationship between a horse and the rider, right? I feel very Knight of Pentacles kind of energy from this. And these two tell a story of, again, not really knowing. It's always the same story. It's like, I have knowledge, but I don't know where to go. I feel like I'm missing opportunity, but there's still progress. It's that ebb and flow that's happening here. And I feel that sometimes it makes you question where you're going. And these runes are here to say that you're doing fine. The branch is growing wonderfully. It's going in the direction. You're pulling from the trunk here. You're pulling from that positive vibe. Okay? Okay, so next up, I'm going to try and show you the runes. I'm going to back it up a little bit here as much as I can. Okay, so I'm going to push them up a little bit, just so that you can see. These have fallen from the tree, and I like that because they're fallen down. And the way that I'm reading them is this. These are the things that you've lost. And you're going to say, oh no, Jane, I've lost something. Yes, you have. What you've lost is anxiety, or what you're planning on losing is anxiety. And this over here is this is the rune of gift, but if I'm seeing these as reverse, which it could be, okay, and I don't see it as losing partners or anything. I see it as losing problems with roots of an emotional nature. So that would be like base chakra type of energy that hasn't been serving you any. As well as this is the hero rune, and in reverse it's endings and beginnings, milestones. So you are ending things. This is ending of family problems and of problems with roots and emotional nature. So you have discarded that. That has fallen out of your tree of growth and of going forward. Over here you have water, emotion, the rune, okay? It is in a tree above you, in the branch, I should say, above you. And in reverse, it's escapism, and it's a very Pisces emotion. And I feel that it's not in the main branch of the tree, but it is attached to it and just above it. They're telling you to be careful, to be very, very careful with the escapism part of Pisces, where we just disappear when things get hard, where we just don't want to deal with it anymore, whatever form that takes. I, myself, have great imagination, and I would much rather live there half the time. Doing readings helps me with this, because then I can help people with their things and still have that kind of connection to the beautiful mystic, okay? But you have to be very careful when it comes to that. I like the fact that it's not on the same branch, but it still concerns me that it's still in the tree. And it will always be, okay? If it would be the other way, I'd say that's psychic and feminine, but because it's in the reverse, it's just a pay attention to, okay? So, but right at the end of that, right before the end, you have the arrow, which is the warrior stone. And it's about intrigue and courage and sacrifice. It is technically on the same branch, but is so far apart and so close to the edge that I'm not completely sure that it even should be here. But just keep it in mind. It is off in the distance and is waiting to be commanded on. Okay? Alright, so let's see this one. Okay. So this one is protection, and it is with, let me see, I have to really check with my glasses now because I have to check. Okay. They're one beside each other. This one is cattle. It's known as well as wealth. It's fulfillment and power. And this one here is kind of sideways, so it's counsel. It's lack. I feel that this is kind of saying that, you know what, I feel like this is another kind of warning right after escapism. It's not a warning of you shouldn't have wealth or you shouldn't have power, but maybe to protect yourself a little bit, okay? Because it is kind of sideways here. With the wealth rune, try to be very aware. I feel that this is not completely aware. If it had been this way, I would have said you're completely aware of how material things, greed and stuff like that, can become an anchor or something that you go for. And I understand we live in a world where money is it, right? But in this path that you're going on, it's almost like it's saying if you do something you love, the things that you need will find you, right? In this case, with these going up into the sky here, I'm thinking that it feels more like you may still have this in your tree of thinking that I need to find ways to make money instead of I need to find ways to be happy. So please just be completely aware with yourself when you're going in a material nature kind of thing, when you're just kind of always, bringing it into that, to make sure that your primary goal is not that to begin with. All right, so we're going to go into this side of the tree. And I feel that this side is probably closer to who, what's going on with you, right? This side are the things that I feel are further away from you. Maybe the other side of your brain. And we're also going to look at these that have also fallen off the tree. Okay, so over here you have the rune of hail. Okay. And this rune talks about limits. And like I said, these I feel are further away from your goal. So while they may still be in your view or somewhere rolling around, they're far less important. These live in the shadows, okay? These are the shadows, your limits. You also have the dice, which is the destiny rune, right underneath it. And I feel that it has to do with secrets, also living in the shadows, okay? You have this one, which is the wheel, and it speaks about journeys. It talks about control and doing the right actions. And I think these things are of the world that we live in, career-driven, everything. And I think they're really in the other part of your brain. The one that's still active, but not completely, just not that important to you anymore. And as it goes, it feels like it's going further away from you. They're very not close to the tree. Knowledge is, okay? Knowledge is very close to your tree, your base. The ones that have fallen down over here are, this one is in reverse. So again, this one I'm going to read, being used by others. You have gotten rid of that. So you're no longer going to get used by others. That's like discarding people who use you, who make you feel bad. Again, greed, again coming in. And then there's this one, static, ice, static, separation, ill feelings. This is also just fallen off your tree. I'm very happy to see what you've gotten rid of, actually. If I'm to look at this, I'm just going to take a look and see what this one is. Okay, this one is in reverse. And it is human. Yeah. This is like a lone victim, and it is alone, right? I am actually going to just dismiss that one because it is so far away from you. It probably would have fallen right off the board if I had probably given it more power. So this one I'm going to remove, and that one I'm going to remove. And I think what we have left is basically really the picture. And it really does truly paint the picture of what's been going on with you this week. There's such a healthy flow here of this right here, okay? You're keeping it close to you. It is all linked to you here. You have a fair amount of, a little bit of escapism, some questions about wealth, and also, what did I say? Oh, yes, and, the idea of lack of wealth here. And then again, we have the stuff that's been really hardwired in us when we were young, but you're still following the path that's really leading you to who you are, and you're discarding such wonderful things over here. Okay, these are the things you don't need. These are the things that bog you down. These are the things that stop your tree from really taking root and really growing outside of itself. I really like this. So, I mean, I could probably just find more nuances. I could probably look up some stuff for you. But you can, if you really want to, you can go ahead and look up. You have the terms that I gave you. It'd be easy enough. Rune and, cattle, or rune or wheel, and you'll be able to find some information. So I'm going to do I'm going to pull a Shaman, or maybe two. And by the way, the empty rune right here, right beside knowledge, is called the experience of not knowing. Isn't that beautifully synchronistic? Right beside knowledge is a not knowing. And I think, you know what? I think between knowledge and not knowing is the true mark of somebody who really knows where they're going. Do you know why? Because it's not how much you know when you're walking the road. It's how much you're able to open yourself up to learn. And if you can truly do that, you're going to go very far. Okay? We're always so, I don't know, we always want to so much know everything before it happens. We want to be experts at everything. But I say that it really just, when you do that, you're really boxing yourself in from not learning more. And that, I don't think that helps. I don't think that helps you in the long run. If you know the owl, you know the owl is linked to wisdom. So there is wisdom here. Let's take a look. I love this book because it has such great wisdom. 39 will be 12. 12 is 3. It's creativity. Oh, and it fell right on the page. So here we go. Owl is a master of the night. She can see situations with perfect clarity. More so when it's dark. There you go. Right here. That rune of not knowing, being in the dark. Look at that. And is able to discern truth when others are sightless. She helps you find your light and your lightness in the dark moments of your life. And to enhance and embrace the night as your ally. Owl can bring you messages from the invisible world. She opens your ears so that you may hear the voices of the ancestors and you may acquire their vision and make it your own. Look around you. Notice every detail and find the hidden messages brought to you by Owl. Do not shoot the messenger. Be grateful to the friend who shows you what you have not wanted to see until now. Observe all the facets of the diamond without judgment. Remember that the facets you dislike are often mirrors of the parts of you that you do not want to recognize. Do not be afraid of the truth, as it will become your compass. I love this one. I love this one, and it fits this reading completely. It does. The wisdom is the not knowing. The wisdom, the knowledge, is in the not knowing. It's in the darkness. For some of us, when we start taking apart and peeling away all that we are, the things that we think are ugliest in ourselves are the things that hold the most power. There's power in your shadows that you're not utilizing. Okay? That's the other message here. All right, let's pull one more. And I love that the blade is underneath this. I love that the blade is underneath this. Oh. 34, which comes to 7. I'm thinking 7 of Cups here. And if you remember the Sunday reading, 7 of Cups, the being, had their hands over their eyes and they're just about to turn to see the cups. All the opportunities that are there for them. This is you. The many paths. See that? Such a beautiful card. Yeah. Look at all these paths. Some of it can be seen and some can't. Look at this figure, okay? Look at this heart. Look at all the roads over here. There's so much to see, but you can't see one definitely or clearly. So let's take a look. I haven't used this deck in a while, and I've missed it. All paths lead to spirit. What you bring to your journey is what will determine if yours is a path of suffering, a path of wisdom, a path of bliss, or a path of loss. Consider the traveler who met two stone masons. I can't believe they said stones with the runes, but we'll just let that go for now. He asks one what he's doing, and the mason replies, "I am squaring out this stone." He asks the other, who is doing the exact same thing, and gets a reply, "I'm building a cathedral." One man has a job, the other man has found his work and calling. Can you hear this message in your heart, Pisces? Remember what I told you. Don't make it about money. Make it about the calling. Okay? This is the message here. He is part of an endeavor much greater than himself. Be sure you pick a path with a heart. Absolutely. Remember in the reading on Sundays, the two hearts that came out. If you haven't seen the Sunday's reading, please go and watch it. It holds some beautiful messages in it. Okay? The invitation. Your call now is to take a big, bold step and leave the beaten path. Heaven and earth are conspiring on your behalf to support you in this move. Do not dally lest you miss the moment. It's time to sail into the uncharted. Again, there it is. You don't need to know to take the next step. Okay? Be sure you attend to both your path through this earth as well as your journey through the stars. Inviting you to also, right, through the stars, I feel is being your authentic self. Finding your calling. Okay? Not just the job that you're doing. Do the job that calls to your heart, to your soul, to your authentic self. If you do these things, you will definitely find what you're looking for. Okay? I think this is it. I feel like this has been a very quieting, earth kind of beautiful reading. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I apologize for Rabbit behind me. She's probably looking for snacks. Yep. She needs snacks too after readings. If you're somebody who does readings, you know you have to eat after you've touched kind of energy. It just brings you back. Plus the food tastes really good too. So she's in this room all the time, so she has no choice but to feel the energy. And I thank you so much for being here. I thank you for being part of this channel. Let me know what you think of all the changes. I love them. I'm getting lots of help from Spirit. I'm getting lots of new help, as I've mentioned before. And I'm grateful you're here. Please let me know in the comments section what you thought. Do you feel like this branch in this tree? Is there anything in any one stone that really resonated with you when I spoke the words? Is there a configuration that makes you feel something when you look at it? Let me know. I would love to hear from you. Over here will be some channels that I own and another playlist if you're interested. Love, light, and blessings, my beautiful Pisces. I will see you in the last reading of the week.